Hey guys, Tony here. A lot of people were asking me about Bitcoin and it's moving to the upside. How it was holding over 40K, and wanted to me to do an update on basically where I think it's going. I just released the video last week. I already told you guys I think it's going back to 45K. Um, Actually, you know what? Why don't I have that set up here? I think should be one here, like 44,981. Oops, too far up. Oops, one there. Nope. Damn it, what the hell? So one there. When did I? Oh, that's why. I was like, what the hell was I even putting on here, dude? I think it was one there. 46. And then we have another one at 45, I think. A little bit under 45 actually. I'll delete this one. I want to make sure that would I even? It's not even. No, I won't put one right there. Doesn't seem like there's gonna be too much resistance from there. But just sorry about that. I forgot to put in my. I guess I deleted it. Um, but it looks like we're gonna be closing this week above that 39,392 level. Like I told you guys in the last, I think in the last 2 weeks, after Bitcoin made that 10% rally after it ran right. I told you guys, I think it's going to 45K. I think Bitcoin's going to go to 45K. We're super bullish on the weekly, and we're closing above that 33. Like I said, we're closing above that 39. 392 level. It's not 40. A lot of people say 40K is the support, right? I don't think it's 40K. I actually think it's a little bit under 40K. Because there's a lot of order blocks a little bit under 40K. So I like to be precise is all. But I think because we are closing over that 39.3 level, I think for the most part, I think we're gonna be going to 44,981 for sure. I'm pretty positive we're going to 45K. That's what it looks like. We even beat former relative highs of what 4924 and 41211. So I can say with certainty I'm like 95 to like 99% sure we're going back to 45K, or at least a little bit under to 45K. But the only worrying thing right now is that on the daily it does look like we are losing a little bit of bullish traction. So again, I can definitely see Bitcoin doing something like going up to 45K, retesting, because that's a very important. I mean, the coincidental part here is that 45K is right on line with the 200 MA. Again, it's right. Look at that. It's right on line with the 200 MA on the daily. So, again, the only worrying part is that I do think for the most part Bitcoin is basically just gonna go up 45K. I think it's gonna hit major resistance, and then a big part of me is like it's either gonna go down back to 40K, or it's gonna drop all the way down to, or it's gonna go back all the way down to 29K. It really just depends, right? I mean, like I said, I'm like almost 100% sure that we're going back to 45K. We're closing over, um, what is it called? We're closing over that 40K level, that 39K level. If anything, we can go up, come back down, retest it, and shoot up, or just go straight up, right? I mean, there's a lot of different things that can happen, but I think for the most part, we are just going to go straight to 45K. I mean, like I said, it can just shoot up right now. It can go back down to 40K retest and then shoot up. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that can happen, but the daily is losing a lot of bullish traction, and it's going to create a, what is it called? It looks like it's gonna create a perfect sell-off on the daily. But again, um, it really just depends. Like it depends what's gonna happen, because even on the weekly right now, there's a lot of, there's, like I told you guys before, on the weekly there's a lot of of bullish divergence, right? And let me see if I can show you guys where the divergence is. I gotta get rid of my Stoke. Gotta add in the gotta add in the RSI. Oh, did I really just delete that? Change that to 13. But essentially what divergence is the easiest way that I can explain it is an inverse chart like thing, right? It's what I used to trade on Forex. And it's basically happening right now on the weekly for Bitcoin, and I think that's why I had that major jump to the upside, because if you guys can see from back here, right, on Bitcoin back in September 2020, you guys have a low basically, right, and then coming up to here to where prices around like what this like 29K level. That's basically that's the general trend, right? You have a lower low and then you have a lower high up here. So lower low, lower high. For the RSI, we actually have the complete opposite of that. We have a high up here, and then you have a low down here. So I think I've explained this a little bit in other videos that I have, but this is what you would call divergence. And this is actually a really, really, really good way of trading Forex. I found that a lot of the big Forex traders, like, you know, the millionaires, the people, the single traders that make a lot of money, they trade on divergence. And I know personally a lot of millionaires that actually trade. This is specifically what they only trade, and it's more of a swing trade strategy than anything else. But like I said, this works great for Forex. I haven't tried it too much on stocks or crypto. I'm assuming it works as of right now. A little I'm assuming it works, but I would only trade it on currencies. But again, this is divergence, right? You have a low on price, and then you have a lower high on price right here. So it's basically a bounce, and it's a continuation of trend. So bounce up, down, bounced up, and then it's basically a continuation of trend. The only thing here is that this is basically this is only your first bounce, right? Generally, when you use divergence, you want to have price bounce after like the second or third time. So I don't know if using divergence here would be the best thing, but you do have divergence, right? And you have divergence off of a 50 MA, which would make it hidden divergence. But it's relatively simple. It's just it basically means the RSI and price have an opposite correlated direction, right? So again, up here you see lower high, or sorry, low, and then lower high for the price. RSI, you have a high and then a low. That basically means that it's just inverted, right? So the weekly is showing really big signs of that bullish movement. It has, right? It has been showing signs ever since May. It's been showing signs of divergence, and it was only a matter of time before it actually jumped to the upside. So what I'm wondering is, how much to the upside is it actually going to run? That's the only thing that I'm trying to figure out. Like, is it going to run on divergence? And if it is, what is the actual, how much is that actually going to run? And the only thing now is that it's actually, like I said, it beat relative highs from back here and then also from back here, right? So right now it's really just about waiting it out. But I think, like I said, Bitcoin has a lot of power to the upside. I think it's at least going to 45K. I don't know if it'll touch 48, but I'm like almost 100% sure that it's going to go back to 45K. Keep in mind that you do have that 200 MA up there, which means that it can definitely bounce from up here and then go down. On the monthly chart, we are losing momentum to the downside. I think we're actually going to close bear neutral for July, which again is good for bullish momentum. So you guys already know that my phase one running thesis on Bitcoin is successful, right? I thought that Bitcoin was going to drop to 29,890 in 92 days, which was going to be at the end of the end of July. Turns out it actually hit a lot sooner. So it actually hit this price that I was looking for back in June. So in June it actually hit that price. I was a month early on that. Well, actually, like about 2 months early on that, right? I was about 2 months early. The price was 2 months early, and I was 2 months late. But like I said, I bought my shorts back here, so I mean, I still made money. It's just I thought it was going to drop in 92 days as opposed to dropping like the next month. So that drop was heavy, right? That drop was heavy after the first month. But my first bear case is already successful. My second bear case would be 20K drop. So my second case would actually be, us breaking, us basically going up, maybe retesting that 45 and then going back down. So bear case number two, I think is still open. I'm leaving till August, till the close of August, for the month of August, to see what's going to happen. Because if we do see August close bear, then 100% I think we're going down $20,000. 100%. For sure, we are closing July bear neutral. So right now, everything's kind of up in the air. I have no idea what can happen. There's no confirmation. If July would have closed bear, I would have 100% thought that we're going to 20K. But it didn't. That last rally from like 2 weeks ago is what pushed the month, to basically be in kind of a bullish formation. On the RSI too, keep in mind that we did bounce off trend off the RSI, which is pretty interesting to see. I mean, you guys can see right there, we're basically bouncing off trend right here. Yes, actually, not that. Whoops. Oh, man, I hate TradingView, dude. Like, see, I mean, it's basically sticking to a trend, right? So now are we actually going to stick to this trend and keep running? Because this trend started back in 2019. So are we actually going to stick to this trend and run to the upside? Or are we just going to retest 45K and then drop again, right? It really depends on how we close the month of August, I think. And I think if August closes bear neutral, 100%, I think we're going to like 84K within 250 days of August close. I think that's what's going to happen. So every single time we actually close on the lows, so every single time like the bear market like is over, about 200 within 250 days, Bitcoin does anywhere between a 3 and a 15x at minimum from the lows, right? From the lows. And the lowest we had was what was the lowest price? The lowest price that we had was 28.6 from this correction. So if we do a minimum 3x from 28.6, what does that bring us? Like 85K, 86K, something around that range. So I can definitely see Bitcoin running towards 84, 85K within 250 days after August closes. What is it, 60? We'll just do that. Within 250 days of August close, right? If it closes bullish or bear neutral, I think that might be it, honestly. So, I mean, on the fibs, it says 100K, but I don't know if it'll hit. I might hit 100K, but I think at minimum, it's going to do something like $85,000 within 250 days after August close. But, August has to give an either bear neutral or bull close, or I think it's going down 20K, because it gives up, if August closes another month bearish, I think, like I said, I think we're going back down to 20,000. I think we're going down to like 20K. We're going back down to 30K, and then from there we have to like redo our TA. But if it all depends on August, I think August is the major catalyst. There's no other way to put it. I mean, because if August closes bear neutral or bull, I think we're going to 84K within 250 days. If August closes bearish, I think we're going back down to 30K if we haven't done so already, and then there's a possibility that we're going to drop even further to 20K. So really my thesis right now is just I have no idea. I'm pretty sure we're going to 45K, but I can't really make a decision until August closes. And then if August closes, like I said, bear neutral or bullish, I think we're going to 85K within 250 days of August 30th. If August closes bearish, I think there's a chance we can still drop to 20K. So if you're in Bitcoin short term, I think there's like a 99% chance we're going to see 45K again. If you're Bitcoin long term, I say keep buying. Anywhere between 29K and like 40K is a solid price. That's why I actually had this little rectangle set up here, because I thought it would be the perfect buying, like the perfect buying price action for Bitcoin. So anywhere here, if you're doing long term, you could have been buying ever since, back in May, and you would have basically been in the money right now, right? You would have been in perfect profit right now. But I do think that anywhere right here in this range between 29K and 40K would have been a really, really solid, buy-in for prices. I bought a lot of other altcoins and a lot of other, and a lot more Ethereum around this price. I don't think I'm gonna buy right now unless it actually falls under 40K. And if it does fall under 40K, somewhere between 29 and 40K, I'm gonna go back and start buying a bunch of alts and Bitcoin again. But I think right now my Coinbase portfolio is pretty nice, where I don't have to like worry about buying it at a higher price than what my strategy says. But yeah, like I said, I think right now, short term, we're going to 45K. Kind of a long video, but it really depends on August. If August closes bearish at all, I think we're going back down to 30K, possibly 20. But if Bitcoin closes bear neutral or bullish, I think we might see. I think there's a strong possibility that we might see somewhere along the lines of 85,000 plus within 250 days of August 31st. And I think I'm gonna be buying super heavy if August actually. If August actually closes bullish or bear neutral, I'm gonna start buying heavy, 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 heavy crypto, because I think there's a strong chance of minimum at least getting like a 3x from your money within 250 days. So I'll see you guys later.